So you're looking to grow on social media. Well, today I have the perfect person who's going to help guide us through how to grow on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. Welcome Simone to the channel.
Hi Charles, thanks a lot for having me here.
Awesome, let's get into it. So Simone, I'd love to start by just kind of walking me through your social media journey.
So I started everything when I was in Hong Kong. I was a commercial videographer, and my value proposition was proposing 20 seconds video, 3 of them, the majority of the times, instead of 1 minute brand presentation. Because I was presenting one service at a time. For example, for a restaurant, I was doing 1 video for a cocktail, 1 video for a dish, and maybe 1 video for coffee.
Nice. So I guess that segued quite nicely into kind of TikTok and what became of short form content that was, I didn't even know TikTok existed 4 years ago, but I imagine that segued quite nicely into where TikTok became.
Yeah, that's exactly, I think, what is a skill. Making short form video content I think is pretty difficult because you need to condense a lot of value in such a short time. So I definitely use this unfair advantage, right, on my advantage to grow on TikTok and then afterwards on Instagram with Reels.
Nice. And how did you find like growing with TikTok?
Well, at the beginning, it was definitely a challenge because I decided with a huge determination to post 3 videos per day for at least a month.
Damn, okay.
Yeah. And then after that month, because things were going pretty well, then I kept going. And I think I missed only 1 day, but after 3 months of constantly posting 3 videos a day was insane, but I'm very lucky because I was in university with loads of free time.
That is, yeah, that's sick. Like I did a TikTok challenge, which, you know, I'll put a link up to the top if you're watching this and you haven't seen it, where I posted every day for 30 days. And if you didn't do it, you had to do the silhouette challenge.
Oh,
which
did you?
I didn't do it in the end.
Oh wow!
I didn't have to do the silhouette challenge. Nice. So that kept me like consistent. But doing 3 videos a day, like how did you plan that? Like how did you structure it? Did you plan ahead? Did you batch record? What was the situation?
So there are 2 main points. One is obviously batching things, and the second one is having loads of ideas pre-written.
Yeah.
So basically I was using, just notes in my iPhone, or I use Notion a lot for planning my kind of content. And every time I was looking at YouTube or like blog posts or like TikTok itself or Instagram, I was writing down ideas that were coming up in my mind. And therefore, when I was about to shoot, then I had like, 4 or 5 videos that I was able to shoot. And when I was organizing a shooting, maybe outside or indoor, I was always planning for 6 to 9 different parts, different videos. Because, when I'm taking a photo, there is the behind the scene, there is the lighting setup, there is adding depth to the photo, there is the editing, there is how the model poses and all this kind of thing. So I was trying to literally chop up all this kind of long form content into smaller.
And you've obviously been doing like really well with that because you've built up a following of like 500-600k followers on TikTok now.
Yeah, on TikTok is 530 for now.
Okay.
But to be honest, in the last few months has been decreasing a lot the engagement, and right now I'm much more focused on Instagram and YouTube as well.
Interesting. So would you say that like one thing a lot of people say with TikTok is that the audience aren't very like valuable as like an audience? Is that the same? Like, do you think that the creator fund that TikTok have is any good? What's your kind of thoughts on that?
Well, for the creator fund, it's a very kind of negative experience because the kind of pay is extremely low.
Like pennies?
And like pennies. Like true pennies. Okay. And to make a TikTok video, a single one, at least a minimum of an hour. But most of the time it's much more than an hour to make a single video. So I kind of shifted towards Instagram and YouTube. And the reason is that because how TikTok works, that you're always constantly reaching new people, it is very difficult to build a community that is believing in you and wants to see your content.
Fair enough. So then you moved over to Instagram, and did you start like copying the content? Because I know like a lot of creators will use their same TikTok content on Instagram. Is that something that you did, obviously, so you wouldn't have to duplicate?
So the approach that I had is that at the beginning I wanted to separate TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
But at the end, I'm now like kind of posting very similar content and even much more on Instagram, to be honest. And the reason is that on Instagram, there is the possibility of creating a true community. Okay. So even when you're posting Reels, first of all, Instagram will kind of send it to your audience, and thereafter is gonna maybe push towards different audience. But you still have all the same people commenting under your post, liking your post, DMing you, and all those things. So that's a huge difference between TikTok and Instagram.
So TikTok doesn't really have much of a community. Like, it mostly goes out to what, new people as opposed to existing that you found?
It's always new people, and that's why it's extremely difficult to retain the audience, and therefore every piece of content has to be towards a new audience, which is honestly very difficult because of social media is kind of like, I have 500k followers, but I'm not rewarded with views for every single video. You know, it's kind of like for Instagram, every time I post a photo or a video, I know that I get at least a minimum amount of likes, a minimum amount, of comments, because these are just my community. That's what I've built. But in TikTok, it's not really like this.
Fair enough. Would you do the same thing again though? Like, would you still spend that amount of time creating like the 500k TikTok followers and the 100 or so K Instagram followers? Like, do you think it's worth putting in the time on those platforms? Or obviously now you're kind of moving more towards YouTube, do you regret like building that audience? Or
no, absolutely not. The reason is that by posting on TikTok, first of all, I've learned so many things just on my own, how to edit much better, how to analyze the type of content. But if I need to give you a suggestion, is that use Reels and TikTok to grow. So just create one piece of this kind of short form video content and post on both two platforms. Using Reels though, not feed, not photos, because the reach of photos in Instagram is very, very low, almost nothing. So you need to use Reels and you need to use TikTok. I think it's still very valuable if you don't have any followers on TikTok right now. I think it's a great growth opportunity.
Is there like a good, like, how do you repurpose the TikTok content for Instagram? Do you use like some certain app or do you edit it on Premiere Pro and then just kind of repost it? How do you avoid the watermark stuff?
So usually what I do is that I create the video itself without any text, without any effects, with no music on CapCut, which is a free app that I use on my iPhone, but I think there is available also for Android. And then what I do is that I import the video into TikTok, into Instagram or YouTube Shorts, and then I put the text, the effects, and the music
within that app itself.
The app. So it's kind of like you need to write the text twice. But if you posted only one video on maybe TikTok and then you repost it on Instagram, it's not going to work because it has the watermark and the music and the text. So it has to be built in.
Makes sense, because I've even seen like some tools that will take off the watermark, but then it reduces the quality. So effectively what you're saying is start off with like a base plate, like a cut version, and then add the stuff in the apps itself.
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
Makes sense. And then just lastly then, so you're obviously moving more away from the social platforms, more towards YouTube. Talk me through the strategy there. Like, what's the plan for YouTube?
Yeah, obviously, like what happened with TikTok is pretty sad. So I kind of lost everything that I've built so far. So I wanted something a little bit more reliable, a platform that could offer me maybe a more sustainable way of doing my content. And I think YouTube might be the solution. I just started a few months ago. I've been pretty consistent until right now, but we'll see what happens in a few months. And I found out that honestly, I really like also this long form of content because I can express myself much more. I can build an argument. I can build, justification for this. Whereas on TikTok and Instagram, it's just such a short period of time that there's not really, any extra seconds where you can put different things.
Makes sense. And what can people expect? Like, I'll obviously put your channel in the description below, but if they follow you, Simone, what can they expect on your channel?
So I do a lot of photography and videography because of my background, but what I'm passionate about is everything that is behind it. So of course, if you want to sustain yourself just doing photos and videos, you need to build a business behind this. Sure. And you need to have a productive system behind all of this. So that's what I do. I know photo, video, business, and productivity stuff.
Sounds good to me. I definitely need help with like videography and photography stuff. So I'll definitely be tuning in, and I'll link it in the description below. Otherwise, Simone, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I've learned a few things.
Charles.
Thank you so much. And if you enjoyed this video, check out this video here, which is me doing the 30-day TikTok challenge and avoiding having to do the silhouette challenge and all my learnings there. Otherwise, thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.